You didn't date a woman.
No, I didn't.
Even before marriage.
Yeah.
Even your wife now, you didn't date.
No. So yeah. So let me say this. Let
I
me.
wanted
So
you to clarify
yeah,
that.
yeah. So you wanted to hear my wisdom. So number one, it's harder for a woman because women age, and then they think about having a family at a young age. Ain't no woman ain't nobody Sarah like Abraham. Sarah was like up there in age and had her
70s,
son.
80s.
Yeah, she was up there in age, like 90 and up there in age. So women ain't trying to have no kids at no late 30s or 40 years old or even 50. Janet Jackson. They try to be up there in age. Most women want to get into their career. They want to find a what they deem to be a good man, because I don't believe that there's a good man. There's only one but good, and that's only God. The Lord. There's no good man, because I believe all men are fallible, just as women. So there's no good man. So women have their preferences, and I believe that women, they'll go to school, they'll get in a career, and they'll say, honey, I want to have some kids. But it's very few people getting married, though. That's the thing.
Right.
So it's like it's a setup.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you the setup. So this is like your brother got to put you up on game. This is the setup. Right. The setup becomes the devil makes it appear to a man or a woman as though they're missing out when you're not dating. Like everybody else is doing it, right? And you'll have your girlfriend say, "Girl, I just met this man. Ooh, he is. Ooh," and she's boasting about him, right? Yeah. She's boasting, and just like dudes too. Yeah, dudes do like, man, I met this dime piece. I met this 10. She's a 10 out of 10, right? And then dudes be talking to their homeboys about the girl, and then when things don't work out, they find themselves talking to another girl, and it's like that whole cycle. But then when he find a dude, I'm telling you from a male perspective, when a dude find that one, he'll have one main chick, and I said chick. The dude will have one main girl, and he'll have others on the side. That's the secular mindset. Right. So when I was in the world, as you know, I dated, a lot of women, and then I've gotten to know these women, but I dated them. Had one main chick, and the others was like, a woman you go to the museum with, a woman you go to the beach with, a woman you go to the movies with, a woman that would just hear you vent. Everybody, the dudes got a woman for everything. That's why there's like this huge movement of men that are polygamists. These men believe in having multiple women, but I don't believe in that. I believe that there's supposed to be one man to one woman. Right. That's it. That's God's way of doing things. Right. Yeah, so for me, I know I'm just going on a rant, but I just kind of like want to put you up on game. So we're talking about, so when I was unsaved, okay, but it's not to bash the people that's unsaved. It's because I didn't know any better. But when I got in the church, so that's why we're going to talk about the church, because we would hope that the people in the church would know better. Yeah. And I could share with you my experience when I got in the church. So before I got into the church, like I said, I dated. And like I said, it was like a setup. It was the most perfect setup. The devil, there was no God anyway. There was no God in the picture. The girl that I dated at the time was like, well, you're out of school. Why don't you move out your parents' house and move in there with me? Yeah. But in my mind, I was thinking, I'm like, man, she ain't my wife. Right. I don't know. Wow. I don't know for what. That was strange, because that's not normal. That's not typical for a guy to even say that. Yeah, but I told the woman, I said, like, you're not my wife. Like, I'm not gonna move in with you. Right. Maybe it's just the thought of just me moving in with her, 'cause I thought I was gonna be locked up. But like Shaq was like, she won't allow me to go anywhere. But the reality is that I didn't move in with her. Right. I didn't move in with her. But of course she cheated on me. That didn't work out. She cheated on me. But what I mean is like a setup that if I would have lived with her, chances are we would have been fornicating. I'm painting the setup right now. Right. How a lot of people get in a lot of like these traps.
The whole goal was fornication.
Yeah. It's all lust. So when you don't have a relationship with Christ, especially I'm standing from a man. Right. When a man don't have a relationship with Christ, it's lust. It's lust, sis. Right. It's like a man see a woman beauty and he desires her. Right. Once he get what he want, peace.
Out. Yeah.
He going to the next one.
Yeah.
And then once he get what he want, peace.
Yeah.
I'm out. And then the girl be emotionally attached. The woman be emotionally attached, and she be like, I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, man. Like, you know, it ain't like that, little mama. It ain't like that.
That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, it ain't like that. You know how them dudes, when you carnally and you don't have a fear of God, you're like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
There's no one to hold that man accountable. Yeah.
But I believe, wait, before I know you're telling your story.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say real quick, that's why us as women, like, we should also value ourselves.
Yeah. I agree.
And
I agree.
teach the younger women that's younger than us in like middle school, high school, college to like also value themselves and not like give themselves to or be susceptible to someone who is older than them, trying to take advantage of them, because that person may be in a lustful mindset, and the woman is like, oh well, I'll do it because I want to please him, so it's like to put themselves in a position to say, well, no, he's not my husband, and I don't want to disobey God. I don't want to, sin against my body.
Yeah.
All of this soul ties.
Yeah.
Soul ties. And
but that's from a spiritual perspective though.
Yeah.
So the issue becomes is like I said, when you're carnally, and then a lot of people are taking the word of God out of their homes. So it's like they're not even, number one, a lot of people not valuing marriage. Right. Like, man, like they be like, oh, that's my girlfriend. Like, no, nobody don't want to get married anymore like that.
Right.
The marriage numbers are not skyrocketing like that. We could see the statistics. I don't even have to look at it. I could say like people ain't get married like that. There was a time that people used to get married like every other month. Like it was like constantly people getting married. I'm talking about early on when I got in the church years ago. People was getting married like crazy.
Yeah. Like
that was the thing.
And even the generation before us, like our parents or
our
grandparents, they were married young.
Yeah. Like
16, 17.
So what happens when you take the Lord out of your home, you take the Lord out of the community, you take the Lord out of everything that you're big and bad enough to do. Yeah. What men do, man, woman, they just utilize their own wisdom.
Yeah.
They don't know it's really they really doing the things of the enemy. Cause the enemy, he loves when people fornicate. The devil loves when people fornicate. Yeah. But God is like saying, no, that's supposed to be like, he'll tell the woman, that's for your husband. He'll tell the husband, that's for your wife.
Right.
No.
Right.
Cause people don't, like you said, soul ties. So when people, they fornicate, they become one with that person. Right. Yep. We call that those spiritual disease.
And that's why the woman is crying. Like, why did he leave?
Yeah.
And then the man is like, I'm on to the next one. And it's like,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So sis, so let me go back to my story. So when the woman wanted me to move in with her, I think it was going to be like a trap. First of all, if I would have moved in with her, I would have got her pregnant. Keep in mind, we're not married.
Right.
So she went ahead and had like 3 other kids after that.
Wow.
Like different dudes, obviously. But if I would have moved in with her, chances are I would have been a baby daddy. Right. So your brother sitting here today would have said, yeah, that was my baby mama. You know what I mean? Like, you got nieces and nephews from my baby mama. Right. And that's when a guy does not have the fear of God, or he don't abide by the standards of God. Right. So that's why I say it was kind of like a setup. Like, if I would have like said, you know what, let me just move in with her, and call ourselves family. Like that's why I don't understand women. Women should feel valued, like you said. A woman should feel, they should look at themselves and knowing that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, and feel valuable, or otherwise they would settle. Yeah. The dude, and then they'll be waiting for the dude to put a ring on it, but the dude wouldn't put a ring on it.
But it starts in a home.
Yeah.
Some women were not raised with their fathers, or their fathers were not present in the home.
Yeah.
So they kind of lack that relationship of knowing how a man should treat a woman.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That is facts. But this is why God's way work. Because this is the thing. even though like individuals like myself and even you,
Yeah.
you know, we was raised without that father figure.
Mm-hmm.
Once we start to understand God's standards, we be like, man, let me put myself in alignment, because
Right.
God's word works. Like God wants, and we're gonna talk about that, like God's way of relationship,
Mm-hmm.
God's way of, because we talk about, the Bible does mention about dating and courting,
Mm-hmm.
but we talk about relationship and marriage.
Right.
So most men, if they move in with a woman, they're not gonna marry her.
Wow.
Men don't like to commit. Men have a hard time committing to God. What you think? Go ahead.
Do you think it just lowers the percent that he will marry her?
Oh,
It lowers the percent.
Yes, yes, yes. It's not 100% of the men, but it's I'm sure it's a high percentage.
Right.
And I'm telling you how your brother thought, and you got other brothers too.
Yes.
You got 5 other brothers, including me.
Yeah.
And they'll let's not talk about our brothers, but we're gonna talk about just me. So I'm just talking about, like, for me, if I would have moved in with this woman, I would marry her.
Wow.
Because number one, women don't understand when they give it up,
Mm-hmm.
they give away something precious. When a man already get what he already wanted, then that's it. Like, he already tried you already. He already got what he wanted. So it's like,
Right.
and I already, he be going to his friends like, I already got that already.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Like that's the carnal mind.
Right. And then, but when a woman doesn't, he keep content. Then he keeps coming. He keeps coming.
I think a man likes, to a degree, if a woman plays hard to get.
But then that individual won't be. They're not willing to marry, but they continuously go to that individual that keeps telling them, "I'm waiting for marriage. I want to get married."
I respect. Let me tell you something. There were women that I've met when I was in school, middle school, high school, not college. College, I didn't talk to anybody. I was just busy preaching to them. But when I was in school, there were women that told me no, straight up no. And I know you talked about, like, in modern time, dudes are afraid to approach women because we're living in 2 different times now. But back then, that women that value themselves, like, these were like good girls. Like, you try to talk to them, they'll shoot you down. Nope.
Wow.
And to me, I'm saying me. I'm not saying every man. To me, it made me even want to pursue her even more.
Wow.
Because in my mind, I'm like, man, like, she playing hard to get. Like, I know that I could get her. It's the easy girls that mess it up for themselves.
Right.
When they give it up like that.
Right.
Yeah. They just meet dude hanging out, and that's the carnal mind, right? They give it up, and then the dudes don't want to have nothing to do with them. Because it made it so easy.
Right.
Because if you give it up to the man like that, like, I mean, think about how much other person that she did with. And this is why we believe that God's way worked. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if I would have moved in with homegirl, chances are I wouldn't have been married to her. Chances are we would have been fornicating. And the other thing that I want to add into that it would have been very difficult for me to come to the Lord. Not saying that it wouldn't have been possible.